Hello everyone, my name is R. Gomez, and today I'm going to be talking to you about gun rights and gun control. December 14, 2012. 20 children and 6 adults are killed at the school by 20-year-old Adam Lanza, who earlier killed his mother, Nancy Lanza, in their Sandy Hook home. A semi-automatic rifle, 2 handguns, and a 12-gauge automatic shotgun were found on Lanza. The guns were purchased legally by his mother. Adam was diagnosed as having autism spectrum disorder, a condition my brother also has. Gun control can be a touchy subject. Some of us might not be able to agree on a solution. What we can agree on is that we want to feel safe in the country that we live in. We don't want any more unnecessary deaths due to gun violence. The fact is, we do not need any more untrained or unstable people walking around with guns. Now, I've done some research on gun deaths and injuries and past stories that have happened in the United States regarding murders and firearms. I've also had the opportunity to interview people that have worked as policemen or served in the military. I've also interviewed other people that are gang members and obtain guns illegally. Now, things are getting scary with mass shootings and terrorism. The problem is that guns are so easy to obtain, legally and illegally, that almost anyone in the country could own one, if not several. Now, we cannot control what other people do. We can't control what other people buy, and we are never going to be able to control what criminals do. We can only control ourselves. Today, I'm trying to convince you not to ever carry a gun in public, and leave the firearms to trained professionals like the police and military. Now, America is truly an exceptional nation, not because of our legal system, economy, or scientific establishment. No, that's what America used to be known for. Now America is only exceptional when it comes to the number of guns, frequency of gun murders, and the shockingly high number of annual gun deaths compared to other first and second world countries. Now, a common argument used by gun lobbyists is that criminals do not obtain guns legally, so there is no reason to pass laws. And on top of that, we need to arm ourselves as law-abiding citizens. Now, nearly 200,000 guns were reported lost or stolen last year, according to federal data. According to a small arms survey, the United States leads the world with highest civilian guns per capita. Second to the United States is Yemen. Brands like Smith & Wesson, Remington, and Colt make millions a year from guns. According to MarketWatch.com, Smith & Wesson has made $551.86 million this year. Of course, this figure doesn't take into account whose hands they went into. A law-abiding citizen, mentally unstable, or a criminal, they don't care about that stuff. They profit from war. According to the same website, the gun industry as a whole makes $15 billion selling weapons in the United States. Clearly the only one winning here are gun manufacturers. Now, the NRA stands for the National Rifle Association. NRA Executive President and CEO Wayne LaPierre said in an interview following the Newtown, Connecticut elementary school shooting in December 2012 that the only thing that stops a bad guy with the gun is a good guy with the gun. But does it? How often do we hear of an instance where a citizen with the gun saved the day? Let's take the George Zimmerman trial into consideration. Now, here was a law-abiding citizen that had a firearm, and that citizen killed an innocent kid because he was losing a fight that he instigated. He couldn't take losing a fight like a man, and a kid lost his life because of it. The fact is, if NRA claims about the efficiency of guns in reducing crime were true, the U.S. would have the lowest homicide rate among industrialized nations instead of the highest homicide rate by a wide margin. Now, don't let fear and propaganda convince you that purchasing a gun will make you any safer. What we need is less readily available guns, period. We do not need untrained armed civilians walking around. There isn't much of a difference from a coward with a gun or an extremist with a gun. Either way, innocent people can and will be hurt. Now, if you and I were against an argument, and we both had weapons on us, firearms, and that argument turned physical, how fast would the guns be pulled out? How fast would one of us be killed, or worse, someone caught in the crossfire? According to Newsweek.com, only the tiniest fraction of victims of violent crime are able to use a gun in their defense. Over a period from 2007 to 2011, when roughly 6 million non-fatal violent crimes occurred each year, data from the National Crime Victimization Survey showed the victim did not defend with a gun in 99.2% of these incidents. This is a country with 300 million guns in civilian hands. A loaded, unsecured gun in the home is like an insurance policy that fails to deliver at least 95% of the time that you need it. So if legal guns are so helpful, like the NRA claims, why are these figures so low? The fact is that guns are more dangerous than anything. The bad outweighs the good by far. Let's examine a country like Australia with stricter gun laws. Australia hasn't had a mass shooting since 1996. After that mass shooting, a larger wave of weapons were banned. Even the government imposed a mandatory buyback that reduced the gun possession in Australia, as well as making it a crime to use firearms in self-defense. Australian murder rate has fallen to 1 per 100,000 compared to the United States 4.5 per 100,000. Now, there's only so much you and I can do to pass stricter gun laws. Money talks, and the NRA has plenty of money and influence. The NRA has so much power over politicians that even when 90% of Americans, including a majority of NRA members, wanted universal background checks to be adopted following the Newtown kills of 2012, no federal action ensued. In the wake of this tragedy, President Obama announced his plan to try and curb gun violence with measures such as strengthening background checks. None of these measures made it through Congress. Indeed, despite often landing on the opposite side of the policy fence, the gun industry hasn't suffered all that much under the Obama administration. If anything, people have bought more weapons since then. Gun groups spend millions on lobbying each year to protect their interests. The NRA and its subsidiary together spent more than $3.4 million on federal lobbying efforts in 2013, up 14% from 2012, according to the Center for Responsive Politics, a nonprofit research group that tracks money in United States politics. Now, we have little control over gun laws. The fact is, some citizens love their guns, and laws to restrict gun rights often fall flat. It seems that the majority answer to gun violence is more guns. Now, today we've established that gun lobbyists have a monetary interest in us purchasing firearms. They are very quick to instill fear, and fear is what gets some people to buy weapons. We've established that the NRA wants more civilians to be armed as an answer to the terrorist and criminal threats we are facing today. But on the same note, we also have the figures to tell us otherwise, that guns are more dangerous than they are helpful, and they belong in the hands of those who are trained and committed to protecting us as civilians. I urge everyone in this classroom today to live a peaceful life without firearms, and if you feel the need to protect yourself and others, please join the military or police force. Thank you.